People say that the world is constantly changing. We evolve to tell the story of a world that's always in a state of motion. But take a moment to think, has it really changed? I mean, really. But like any story, we must start at the very beginning. My name is Samwella from Samburu County in Kenya. I'm part of a game-changing network called Youth in Action, YACT. In my county, which is based in the northern arid regions of Kenya, going to school is a luxury for many girls. Girls are often married off by the time they are 12 years old, right after they undergo circumcision. Picture this, young people in Kenya make up about 75% of the population. So imagine how many young girls are at risk of these harmful cultural practices. It's been decades since this detrimental cultural practice has endured, as girls continue to be married off for cows. This could have been my story, but I was lucky. I was lucky to have had a father who took a chance on me. He allowed me to go to school. My father believed in me, and my teacher supported me so much. In school, I read a lot of books. I loved reading stories. The stories I read painted a possibility of a bright future. Although the stories were too foreign and far-fetched, I chose to bring the colorful world closer to me. I chose the path of belief and hope. When I started out, I really didn't know where to start or how to engage with policymakers in my county. I needed a platform that could understand my needs and offer me opportunities to grow. This is how I met the YACT movement, and let's just say that was the start of my advocacy journey. What an experience it was. Through YACT, I met over 3,800 youth advocates and over 750 youth-led organizations who are passionate about social change, especially when it comes to innovation in health, education, equality, governance, and employment. Amazing young people. YACT felt like a home where I could connect with other like-minded youth advocates. Eager to get to work, we formed the Samburu YACT Coalition and later the Samburu Youth Advocates Network. The best part is we got to connect with other YACT coalitions advocating for gender equality and reproductive rights in 5 other counties. Fast forward, a couple years later, I quite possibly couldn't quantify the lessons I've learned being part of this movement. However, in my time as a youth advocate, perhaps the most important lesson I've learned is the importance of government partnerships. For governments to make the right decisions on issues related to youth, they need us at the decision-making table. As youth, we are seen as too rowdy, too much, and sometimes too confused. So governments opt to ignore us or take advantage of us. I remember the YACT Samburu County chapter chose a different path. We chose to arm ourselves with information and the right power suits, and complete with our PowerPoint presentations. We were able to convince the county government on the importance of involving us in their development agenda, and we sensitized them on what meaningful youth engagement really is. That was 3 years ago. Today we talk of a different story at the county. We have worked with the county in development of the first ever policy on access to youth-friendly services. The YACT Samburu County chapter now provides guidance and insights on a number of developmental issues. This goes for other counties like Kakamega, Kilifi, Nairobi, Kisumu, and Bungoma, where we are seen as development partners. The moral of this story is, let's start by creating and sharing our stories and changing the society we live in today. Not for a better tomorrow, but for a greater now. Growing up as a pastoralist child, while I may not have made the best goat herder, I learned a thing or two about goats and how they herd for greener pastures. Alone you can go far, but together we can conquer the world. And that is YACT's legacy, movement building anchored on the voices of young people. YACT continues to create opportunities for youth advocates to learn how to develop their organizations, which in turn contributes to their sustainability. Think formidable youth-led CBOs, having the capacity to make change within their communities over a long period of time. And that is only the beginning. We have so much more to accomplish at YACT. Revolutionary progress we think you should be part of. Take that giant leap. Don't wait for time to fly by. Join the movement and do your part to create the great now all young people want and deserve.